Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best Razer mouse.
Starting at number 5.
Razer Viper V3. Yes, the Razer Viper V3 Pro is the newer version of the V2 Pro that occupies the top spot on this list. However, the V3's focus on competitive play and its higher price tag means it's the best Razer mouse for those after an FPS-first device, even if it's not the best option for more casual players. The Viper V3 Pro was launched some months after its cheaper alternative, the Razer Viper V3 Hyperspeed. However, it shares a pretty much identical design. That's a marked step away from the Vipers of the past, which previously prioritized a skinny form factor with a flat top. This kept the weight down and ensured the pointer was nimble on the battlefield. By contrast, the V3 Pro opts for a chunkier frame, with more emphasis on ergonomic comfort. In testing, we weren't able to flick things around quite so easily, and preferred the textured surface of the V2 Pro compared to the matte soft touch plastic here. However, if you're tired of cramping around a smaller FPS mouse, this could be just the thing you're looking for. Features: Razer is primarily focused on speed here. That means the V3 Pro's feature set is designed around ensuring optimal reliability from the sensor and the fastest of response times between the pointer and your computer. A Focus Pro 35K optical sensor is a small nudge up the scale from the model used in the V2 Pro, and very few players will actually use the top end of that range. However, the 8K hyperpolling dongle is now included in the box as standard.
Coming at number 4.
Razer DeathAdder V3. We called the Razer DeathAdder V3 an FPS mouse for those who hate FPS mice. That's because it's a surprisingly lightweight pointer that doesn't achieve such a low weight simply by restricting things down to a skinny form factor. Super light FPS mice like the Razer Viper V2 Pro above and the MSI Clutch GM31 are often particularly small, making for an uncomfortable experience for anyone with larger hands. However, the Razer DeathAdder V3 manages to pack a 59G footprint while still offering the chunky curves required for long-term comfort. That shape won't work for everyone. In fact, it's geared slightly towards those with larger hands. However, it's a nippy pointer that manages to avoid the pitfalls of many lightweight gaming mice. Features: the lower price does mean you're losing out on RGB support, and there are fewer programmable buttons here when compared to the similarly priced Razer Basilisk V3 model, but there's still plenty to love. If you like the look of the DeathAdder but want a wireless connection, we'd recommend checking out the new Razer Viper V3 Hyperspeed. It's the same price, and keeps the larger dome shape of the DeathAdder line compared to the traditionally flat Viper range, all while a packing speedy 2.4 GHz hyperspeed connection.
At number 3.
Razer Basilisk V3. The Razer Basilisk V3 might not be the best in its range on paper, but it's the best Razer mouse for the majority of players right now thanks to its low price and well-rounded feature set. Design: the Basilisk V3 is packed full of programmable buttons, but its larger body and longer slope mean it's still effortlessly wieldable on the battlefield and super comfortable to boot. The thumb tray and additional grip support keep things precise, even if that overall weight is higher than other more FPS-focused pointers in Razer's range. Features: packed with personalization and RGB options, it's an easy recommendation for the vast majority of players looking for a solid all-in-one experience. You're getting a pretty powerful RGB underglow effect that offers up one of the more innovative LED uses we've seen in a long time, as well as new second-generation switches in the main clicks. Perhaps the most impressive feature to come out of our testing, though, is the Smart Scroll wheel. You've got two scroll modes here, a tactile and controlled clicky scroll and a freewheeling spin. The magic happens when you enable the automatic switch function in Synapse. Once enabled, although annoyingly only accessible while running the Synapse software, the wheel will detect when you need to scroll faster and automatically switch its modes for a super smooth experience. This was just as helpful in our day-to-day work as it was when controlled in gameplay, making this an excellent all-rounder.
Number 2 of my list.
Razer DeathAdder V2. The DeathAdder line is Razer's budget but still ergonomic series of affordable pointers, and the V2 Mini is the cheapest of the bunch. Regularly found for under $25/£25, and sometimes on sale for less than $10/£10, the DeathAdder V2 Mini offers excellent value for money overall. All of that coming at such a low price is well worth taking note of. In fact, we actually enjoyed the grip tape included with the mini version far more than the standard grippy surface of the main release, and the sweat-absorbent design was much appreciated as well. We also noted that the smaller size meant Razer's snappy switches felt all the more tactile underhand, whereas the full-size device can feel a little mushy. Features: the 8500 dpi is smaller than the 20K in the V2 and the 30K in the V3, but everyday players will rarely need more than this sensitivity anyway. Plus, there's still 6 programmable buttons to customize to your needs and a set of optical switches to keep things speedy underneath as well. Performance: the smaller size and zippy switches means the DeathAdder V2 Mini flies across the desktop. While the internal specs aren't enough to pair that extra physical speed with top-shelf tracking and polling, there's still plenty of benefit to that slick feel. Everything performs well together here, and while it's not going to be fast enough for more competitive endeavors, everyday play is well served for the cash.
And number 1.
Razer Viper V2. The Razer Viper V2 Pro is not only the best Razer mouse, but it's also our favorite wireless gaming mouse as well. The Featherlight 58G form factor makes those wild sweeps and frantic spins incredibly easy on the wrist. The flatter shape might not be for everyone, but we found that, for a fingertip grip in particular, this is still an endlessly comfortable and responsive experience. If you have a hard time maintaining control though, it might be best to prioritize the black colorway. Neither models come with a grippy texture on the side like the previous Razer Viper Ultimate, but do ship with extra tape to tack on. Unfortunately, the white model uses the same black stickers, which does detract from the overall aesthetic. Features: not only is the V2 Pro a powerhouse, but it's an efficient powerhouse. The battery life on this pointer means you won't have to keep its juice level in the back of your mind, all thanks to the removal of RGB lighting. That's a sacrifice we're willing to make. The crisp white contours of this device are beautiful enough as they are. The Viper V2 Pro also features Razer's best tech yet, with its 30K sensor and Gen 3 optical switches for a particularly crisp and speedy actuation.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.